CNN's town hall event that they hosted last year in the wake of the school shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, the televised event with Jake Tapper and the Marjory Stoneman Douglas students who all piled on NRA spokeswoman Dana Loesch, that town hall event has just won an award, the Walter Cronkite Award for Excellence in Television Political Journalism. Oh, I'm serious. You can't make this stuff up. This CNN town hall event, the most partisan, nasty, bloodthirsty, dishonest, biased public humiliation spectacle, was honored for journalism. Watch.
You've had a previous town hall where you spoke with a young woman named Kim Corbin, who was a college student who was brutally raped in her dorm, and she was under the age of 21. And one of the things that she speaks out about loudly now is how she wished she would have had the ability to be able to have a shotgun, whatever it was, to be able to defend herself. I was 20 years old when I lived on my own. If you're old enough to vote, you're old enough to drive a car, you're old enough to serve your country, I think that you are old enough now here's the caveat, if anyone wants to listen to the caveat.
And I understand you're standing up for the NRA, and I understand that's what you're supposed to do. But you just told this group of people that you are standing up for them. You're not standing up for them until you say, I want less weapons.
CNN won an award for that. My question is, what is this award for? Like, what are they honoring? What's it for? For submarining Dana Loesch? For treating a conservative woman like trash? Riling up the crowd like a UFC fight to eat Dana alive? For the music they played as they rolled Dana out? Let's get it started. Is that journalism? What exactly is CNN being honored for? For people calling Dana a liar? For reporting that people in the audience shouted, "Burn her, burn the witch," as she walked down the aisle? A claim, by the way, that she has video proof is true. Is CNN being honored for Jake Tapper not doing his job moderating, not stopping a child from calling Dana a killer when Dana is no such thing? What exactly does CNN consider to be journalism? When the journalists at CNN allowed Sheriff Scott Israel to sit there and lie about gun control unchallenged? Or perhaps when Israel told gun owners, "You don't care about kids if you don't support banning guns." Or maybe when Sheriff Israel blamed law-abiding gun owners for the massacre when he knew his own deputy, the school resource officer at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School, refused to enter the school and stop the shooter. So what's the award for? Is this award applauding Jake Tapper and the journalists at CNN for not reporting the facts that contradict Israel's lying, his disgusting political narrative? Or perhaps is the award celebrating when Tapper refused to push back on Israel even though Israel knew his department had been called to the shooter's home dozens of times and mishandled those visits? What journalism is this award supposed to celebrate? The reporting on how dangerous diversionary programs are? How Broward County Superintendent Robert Runcie took money from the federal government to do these diversionary programs, even though he didn't report to a judge when the shooter failed to complete the program? How Runcie didn't upgrade the fire alarms that could have stopped the shooter? That Runcie ignored the shooter's pattern of behavior? That the FBI didn't follow up on the tip that the shooter was going to wage this attack? The government mishandling and lying about this whole thing start to finish? Oh no, wait. None of that was mentioned during this town hall. Because CNN wasn't interested in the truth. They just wanted to raise an emotional spectacle to push their own political agenda of taking away people's guns. This is epitome mainstream media. Applauding themselves, rewarding themselves, fawning over themselves for violating every rule of journalism. When really, there was only one person on that stage telling the truth that night, and it was Dana Loesch. Dana used CNN's own reporting about how many times the sheriff's office had been contacted about the shooter. Dana was the only one engaging in journalism. Jake Tapper and CNN refused to defend their own network's reports and instead allowed Israel to tell lies and refused to stop the kids from screaming at Dana and calling her a murdering witch. That's not journalism. That's dishonesty, cowardice, and shady political activism. That is CNN. If an award is due to anybody for journalism that night, that award should go to Dana Loesch and nobody else. And that's my final point.